Okay, so the buyer's edge tool bag. Just first and foremost, it's important for people to understand that we're not your home inspector, but I'm also not your lawyer or your accountant or a lot of the other people who are involved in the process. But that doesn't mean that we don't use all of our knowledge and all of our skills to tell you everything that we know about a house, especially the bad stuff. So sure, we're going to talk about how cute the house is and that it has nice light and nice flow and it's a nice little white picket fence. But the fact of the matter is that we want you to know about the heating and air conditioning system and the roof and the water in the basement and the screwy electrical system. So we've been through thousands of home inspections. I personally have been through hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 home inspections over the years. So we're very, very well versed on property condition issues. And as a result, we're constantly looking at stuff to make sure that we're really evaluating properties correctly from the beginning. So what happens is that when we drive up to a house, oftentimes when we come up to the house, we're looking at the lay of the land around the house to see how water flows around the property, to see if water is running up against the back of the house or to the side of the house. And if it is, we talk about that right away. So that when we go down into the basement of the house, we're actually going to be looking in those areas which look like they might have water infiltration from the outside and look to see if there's water there. And if we think there is, sometimes we'll actually come and we'll bring like a handy dandy little moisture meter. These things cost 69 bucks at Home Depot, but we literally take it with us so that we can test the wall in a location where we think it might be wet. And if we see some spot in the ceiling, it could be an old leak that's been dry for years, but it may be active. And the only way you're really going to know is if you literally put a moisture meter up against it to find out. So a lot of other things that we do when we drive up to a house, a lot of times, especially after the earthquake that we had last year, a lot of times we'll literally bring and we take a pair of binoculars out and we look at the condition of the roof and we look at the chimney to make sure that the chimney hasn't cracked, which has happened all over the place. Tens of thousands of chimneys in our area have cracked over the last couple of years, and they're starting to show up, and it's very expensive stuff to fix. So we want our clients to know about it before they start negotiating on deals. I have a little inspection scope, this goofy thing. Actually allows you to have a video screen so that you can look behind things. So if there's a wall that has a cavity behind it, we can actually look inside the wall to look for termite damage if we think there's stuff back there. There's a lot of little things. This is a thermometer, an infrared thermometer that you can point at a wall and also you can point it at a vent to know how much cooling is actually coming out or heating is actually coming out of a vent compared to the ambient temperature in a room. So we know whether the heating system or the cooling system's working correctly when we're there. We have a pretty good idea whether we should be looking for problems. And then there's a lot of other little gadgets that we have, stud finders and all kinds of stuff. But the biggest point with all this is just that, we're going to use everything that we can, every tool that we have, and all of our bases of knowledge to help our clients understand the condition of the property from the very first time that we walk in the door.